Hello and welcome to More Than Pomegranates. Today we're going to be reviewing a movie, just one, and it's called
Sometimes I Think About Dying, directed by Rachel Lambert, starring the wickedly talented, one and only Daisy Ridley. And one more thing, I gotta stunt. I'm wearing these shoes that I own because of her. Thank you, eBay, though, because I was late. But the impact she has on me.
Yeah, it goes to show who's the one that chose this movie. But Daisy Ridley was really good in this film. I went in with no expectations and I left super happy.
Yes, she plays a character named Fran who lives a very mundane life. Her peak is her office job, and her second peak is eating cottage cheese for lunch, dinner, breakfast. And she's pretty content with this, except for the fact that she sometimes thinks about dying throughout it. But all this gets turned upside down when a new coworker comes in named Robert, and she kind of has a little crush on him. And we see her try to navigate these feelings, this desire to actually connect with someone, because she's clearly never had that before. And my girl Daisy just conveys this anxiety so well.
Yeah.
And she doesn't talk
really
till 30 minutes into this movie, and that's a long time. And she just like shows it through like mannerisms, by the twitch of her hand, just like we literally watch her observe other people. But she makes it entertaining, and she also just makes it so believable.
Yeah, she goes from observing and then the people then cornering her and saying, "What the heck?
Who are you?
Who are you? Let's start asking you questions." And then you see her getting really vulnerable in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
I actually really enjoyed watching this in theaters. The score in that beginning was I was going to cuss, but it was really good.
Yeah.
I was caught off guard how good that score was.
I agree, and it was original.
And it really plays into kind of like of this, I would say, Disney princess-esque kind of like a score where it's just la 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 la. It's like it has this really nice rhythm.
Yeah.
And you can see like somebody walking with it, so on and so forth. But there was also these moments where you brought up like her being, let's say anxious or depressed or whatever it may be. This character, Fran, when she goes into a party of people who she doesn't really know, and I'll keep it really brief for those who haven't seen it. In order to feel her anxiety in the party of trying to talk to people, there's this delay in the back speakers which create this echo effect.
Yes, and everything is heightened.
Yeah, like that moment when you're in your head and you're dehydrated and you're so aware of the fact that you're a human in your like primitive state and you're like you can't even be yourself at that moment.
Yeah. It's literally like Cillian Murphy at the conference when he's like, I made a bomb that might end the world. Yeah. And everyone's reacting and he's just like, everything's just like that blur.
It's like, where the flying fuck am I?
What the fuck did I do?
Yeah.
Albert was right.
So exactly that. I think like that image of that, what Cillian just said, is a great depiction of how they did it with sound. I got a huge kick out of it, and the surrounding characters, the supporting cast, the city that they're in. Yeah,
every element plays into emphasizing the character study and getting what we want to get out from Fran, because, she starts off as a blank slate and we slowly get to see, how like the rest is still unwritten? Like we get to see it written in this film.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we see it. It's kind of like a great little film just for starting off January. It is 2024.
Very sweet, and has a hopeful ending. Spoiler.
Yeah, and so I really hope everybody here watches this. It's a really underrated gem, I think, of 2024. I don't think it'll get a lot of press, so we recommend it.
Yes, and if y'all were doubting my girl Daisy, she fucking proves everybody wrong. She didn't make Star Wars, guys. Like, I'm sick of people trying to make it seem like Rey is why Star Wars flopped. She didn't write Rey, okay? And she did the best she could. Like, I was sick of those 3 buns too, don't get me wrong, but she killed it.
Rey Skywalker.
Yeah, no, she freaking killed it. I don't like her depiction of her in Star Wars. I will have to disagree with you on that. Like, there are moments where I didn't love the film because of, let's say, how kind of wooden she was. And if you feel like you're gonna, I get it. But if anybody here has that feeling like, oh, she's wooden, she's not wooden in this film.
Any minute there's a feeling that she's gonna well up. Her eyes just show everything. It's like pure face expression acting.
Yeah, everything that you thought about Star Wars is flipped upside down in this film.
Blame it on the JJ. Blame it on the JJ.
But I'm not saying she's like a Hollywood actress where she's just like freaking going crazy like Spencer. But she's very aware of her character and she does the job well. So we recommend it. I will give it 4 Chiburashkas. Lit?
I'm going to agree because we share the same brain cell.
Please watch this. After this, we're going to get into the spoilers for those who have seen it. Thank you for watching.
See you in the spoiler talkie.
Welcome to Spoily Talkie! And this is where we'll get into some of the endings, some parts that we really liked about the film.
Why it's a 4 out of 5, 4.5 out of 5.
So yeah, let's get into the juice, huh?
The nitty-gritty.
The nitty-gritty. What was the ending like? What'd you think?
So what I loved about the ending was that throughout the film, we kept seeing Fran have these fantasies of her being dead, whether it was at the beach, it was in the forest. And during one of those fantasy moments, her coworker Robert interrupts it and just like appears in a transparent way in the frame and pretty much like takes over the fantasy and like it's no longer about death. So at the end of the film, when she finally tells Robert that she sometimes thinks about dying, Robert just has no response and just immediately hugs her. And I was like thinking about how this is the first sign and like solid sign of hope for Fran, because she's having like that fantasy that she had with Robert bleed into reality, because as they're hugging and the camera pans out, you see a bunch of plants go around them, and like plants are a sign of birth and you know it's like harmony, right?
Yeah.
But also you had her in a forest, so now she's like associating the forest setting, which used to be about death, with Robert because they're hugging, and you hear the Snow White music. The Snow White music.
Yeah.
So like it's very Disney princess, but in a modern like office way. And I just thought like those connections were so cute because you know she's a princess in her own right. I'm just gonna say Ray's a princess, and I just love that.
Ray.
I mean, she could have been a
Janet.
princess.
Janet, right?
No, but I'm saying like Daisy has the princess chops.
Oh yeah, she does have the
she's been
princess
in
chops,
Disney.
but Janet's my princess.
Janet?
Yeah, Janet.
It's Fran.
Fran. Oh my God. Sorry. Oh God.
We should have like a counter of gore. Not
I feel
remembering.
like Janet and Fran's like about the same.
They're in the
name.
same-
They're like the same category
same
of like
font.
oatmeal names.
Okay.
I'm sorry for whoever's name is Janet and or Fran.
Yes, we lost like 3 subscribers again.
Yeah, no, that's a great connection to make. You know, the fact that plants are growing, it shows rebirth, right? And then the fact that like there's surrealism that's then entering in the office when there shouldn't be plants. It's just a great way to end it.
And I just remembered there was plants in her own home.
Yeah.
And like when she was like rethinking the convo she had with with Robert, and how she upset him, she didn't sleep the whole night, and when she woke up, she like actually looked around her living space and noticed that she had plants there. And we didn't know that about her. Like we kind of were also as passive as she was in her own space. So I feel like that now could contribute to like conversations that she could bring up, because you know Robert would always ask her, what do you do? And she'd be like, I go to work. It's like,
I also really appreciate that they corner her in that way where you know what she's doing at home, but she doesn't know how to say it to people. Like you can't tell people, oh, I think about killing myself, or I think about ways that I'm dead in a beach.
And then
that's
I
what
play
I'm really good
Sudoku.
at. Yeah. And so I love that. You get to see her day-to-day life, and then you then see that being confronted by people that love her, you know, want to get to know her. And what's so odd is that her room, her little chamber that she's in, like this echo chamber of decay, supports her dreams. You know, those moments when she's laying down and thinking about the beach, there's nothing really there to take her out of it. The food that she eats is as mundane as it can be.
very retirement home core.
Oh yeah. It's like very retirement. Oh, yes, it is.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. And the food, the plate that she uses, like if anyone knows a plate, if anyone looked at it, it's a ceramic plate that's trying to look similar to one of those paper plates that you eat pizza on. Like if you've been to a park, if you've been to a birthday party, there's always those super cheap ass thin plates that like if you sneeze on it, that shit rips.
Yeah, the Costco pizza.
And you put that Costco pizza on it, that oil
drenched
everywhere, and you're like, okay, I need to throw this away. You're like, is this going to be recycled? I don't even fucking know. I don't want to think about it. It's not even recyclable. She uses something that's supposed to be easily disposable, right? No thought, head empty, but she uses it for every day, right? She uses it as an everyday thing, and in a way that kind of represents who she is, the food she eats,
psyche.
the things she lives in. She is, in a way, disposable, nothing, worthless. And that's how she views herself. She doesn't really think of herself.
We don't
much
feel
than
that way about her. I'm just putting that out there.
I like Fran.
Yeah.
You know, like I like.
I'd invite Fran to my junction, to my function.
I mean, if Fran came out to my junction, I'm like, let's go. You know, like if you're talking about death, I'm like, what else are you thinking about? Like, is there?
I'm taking script notes.
Yeah.
It's like,
oh, can I have
cinema.
your number so we can interview you a little bit more?
You're so cinematic, babe. It's like LA shit.
Yeah.
Your depression kind of aesthetic.
Let's go to the Grove after this.
You'll make cottage cheese like a thing.
Yeah. Do you put sesame seeds on that?
Do you put some chia seeds, flax seeds?
Yeah. I think what's so nice is that like she's not in LA, she's in Oregon, right? She's in like this small
If she
little
was in LA,
town.
she would have already done the.
Oh, yeah, we all are. We're all this close. But yeah, okay. So besides the point, like it's so great that they put somebody like her in a small town, right? And you have a really great supporting cast that is so comedically mundane in its own way, but they're so aware of it.
They're so
unaware.
real.
There's some that are aware, which is the guy that was at the party, that he's just like playing into it and just trying to confuse more people. And then there's the people that are just living their life. They're angry about the fact that a cruise is parked out there for more than 3 days. You know,
Hot topic, hot goss.
I appreciate the film going into that. You know, like it feels really American. It feels like it's a woman's story. This feels like a depression story. It feels like there's so many things being hit at in this film. I haven't seen that in a while. It's refreshing. It's like a Perfect Days meets like Patterson. And when you go to that point when you meet Carol, oh my God, you know, like that just signifies what this film is.
I agree.
There was a moment though where Carol kind of talks about what it is to be like, it kind of like gets into like what it is to be an American sometimes too.
Yes.
And like I really think like oddly this film's very American in its own way.
Of
like,
course, yeah.
Like I think you can only get isolated sometimes. Well, I don't know. Like, I mean, I'm American, so what the fuck do I know of what a European does? But Carol, it's like this dumb side character that you don't think much of in the beginning, and then you have that moment when she's at the cafe.
Yes. Okay, so when she first took that pivot, that little, no turn from the bus stop, I thought she was gonna go to the beach and recreate her fantasy. I was like, please don't end in this hopeless way. But she goes to the cafe, happens to see Carol there while she's gonna buy donuts for her coworkers.
Yeah.
Yes. And Carol tells her that her husband had a stroke, and it's why she's not at a cruise, because my girl is supposed to go on a cruise.
Virgin Voyages says we can't cruise till we're 18.
I felt so bad for her, and like it's so weird. This movie shows just like how it just reflects human life, and I actually thought Carol was real. And when she was telling us that,
I know, you're right.
her husband got a stroke, it's like, I know you, and I'm so sorry.
Yeah, like you're hyped about that cruise.
Yeah, and then so like, but like of course Brad is just like, I'm like, I felt so bad.
I mean, I don't think I know how to react.
I don't know how to react to that either. I think Fran reacted the same way I would have. I'm just like, fuck, that sucks. And that shows just like, oh, the American dream life of working hard, retiring.
Saving retirement money.
Yeah.
Saving.
We got that 401k, and then it leads into my husband got a stroke, and all that stuff that I did is fucking pointless.
And I didn't really appreciate those mundane moments I had with him because I was always thinking, we're going to go on a cruise, we're going to have that retirement, Hawaii, whatever it is. So I never, like, she brought up the gardening, he would garden, and she never really saw the beauty of him gardening. She just thought it was like another passive thing in the day, and that
That's
for sure
crazy.
made Fran realize, like, my cottage cheese is a cute reward. Like, why am I treating, like, every little thing I do, the self-care moments, as just,
Yeah, hey, yeah, that's true. That's what I like about this film. It's
you
into,
can
like,
project
little
so much
details.
onto it.
There's so much like, okay, we got the American life. We can have some opinions about that, what it is to be isolated.
Depressed. So something else I thought this film conveyed very well is the feeling of wanting to be seen, but intentionally putting yourself into every position so that you'll never be seen by anybody, but you're still yearning, like you still have desire, So, because I feel like it's really hard to cut that feeling off as a human. It's just like a natural monkey feeling. So I really relate to that. At least I used to relate to it. In high school, if you went to the same high school as me, hey there. I used to purposely like sit in the back of every single class I was in, had the longest hair, and I would kind of like put it always in the front so that it would kind of frame my face as like a curtain. And I would wear overly sized flannel, like not my size at all, flannels. And literally like I'd put it over my head sometimes. And I would sit like this too. Like, I'd have like that Daisy posture of like being like that.
Oh.
And I would be reading the fattest copy. Well, all copies of It are fat by Stephen King. Not like other girls, you know, I like my horror genre. Yeah, I like horror, I'm really cool. Yeah. So I'd be reading those books in the back, and, you know, like when you're reading was like the headphones of the past for me, because when you're reading, no one's gonna like come and be like talking to you. You're just like, you're in your bubble of reading. So I would do that a lot on purpose, and it was a part of me like being like the Fran of this film, where she's purposely putting herself in a position. No one will want to talk to her because she got those borders around her literally at the office. Ooh. She gives like very cut responses to things. You know, it's like people would sometimes ask me if I'm okay because I was so quiet. And I'd just be like, yeah. And I just went back to my It. It's like, I'm good.
I got you out of that. I got you out of that cave.
He did. But my version of I Think About Dying was Kylo Ren. So
This is a full circle moment.
Yes. Shout out to that Kylo GIF I put. That was obviously my editing choice. If you watched the last video, you know. But I would just fantasize about Kylo Ren, and that was like my motivation. It's like I would look forward to going to bed, TMI, and being like, Kylo Ren, you know?
I think I'm just like sitting here listening to this.
Yeah. Sorry, he already knows this. He already knows this, y'all.
Yeah, I fucking signed up for this, so yeah, I know.
Yeah, he was Kylo for Halloween. Twice.
It's on my IG, so there's like
girls keep trying. Girls keep trying. It's possible. So yeah, I just really love that they conveyed that so well.
Yeah.
And I'd never really seen that feeling just brought to the screen in such a subtle yet effective way, where like just the fact that he interrupted those fantasies was just the first sign of that. But then if y'all know, you know, like once that motherfucker, you know, like having a crush, once they get into that fantasy you had that was safe, like Kylo Ren can't break up with me, Kylo Ren can't judge me, but then, you know, if I replace Gord with the Kylo Ren, it's like, like he's real, like he could judge me, he could not love me back.
Yeah.
If you freak the fuck out, and it's scary, like the possibility of being rejected is the worst. So seeing Fran at the end of the film when she tells Dave, do you wish you would unknow me? And he's like, bitch, I don't even know you though. I really felt that, because it's honestly not to be first world problem, but when you're first opening up to somebody that you have a crush on, you're like, I really hope like me being like this isn't gonna make them want to not know me and like leave. So it's like, and you know, sometimes it's different with people depending on who you are, but those first stages, and when you're so not used to that, is so intimidating.
Oh yeah.
It's like,
oh my God, it's so intimidating.
I'm like, I love you, like you're so cool, please think I'm cool too, but like once I open, it's like that flow of love just might, because you're gonna see this bitch weird.
Yeah, that's what got me a little scared too with this relationship that they were getting into, was that like if she opens herself up and says I love you, is he gonna do the same?
Yeah.
And like that was almost this uncomfortable, as an audience viewer, you're like, oh, this is getting a little uncomfortable because this guy's not really giving the love that she may be exuding, and she might get attached, and he's clearly going off a different direction.
Yeah, because he's not getting anything.
I legit thought that we're gonna get a dream scenario again, and like it goes into like this pity of
yes.
like, let's put down
Pet
this
peeve.
girl.
Pet peeve.
Let's put down this girl that's trying so hard
like,
for this man to fall in love with him, but it's just not working out.
No.
And I'm like, no, please don't go in that direction. But it didn't.
No,
like,
I really can't stand when writers intentionally put their characters in situations that are just so depressing. And obviously, you got to start a story off like that because the character has to come out of something.
No,
but
yeah.
when you purposely just keep beating them, sorry, Ari Aster, but you're the king of this. Masochist king.
Yeah, you're the fucking
Masochist
king, bro.
I'm sorry.
King.
I really don't understand.
I like you though.
Okay, another controversial opinion. That should probably be a new segment. I don't like it when writers, filmmakers intentionally make a character a beating bag and they just get a kick out of how can we make his life worse? And it's just like they have this fucking wheel of potential sabotaging moments,
Yeah.
and you think it's like, is it gonna turn around yet? And then it ends on like the worst note, and you're
Right.
like, I just watched 2 hours of this character suffer. The whale too, Miss Brendan, like we just saw this man like practically kill himself from eating so much.
You're perfect just the way you are.
Yeah, and
Like, shut the fuck up, Dad. And you're like, whoa. You're
I
like-
know, and I was like, she's gonna say I love you, Dad, right?
No.
But no, he dies alone.
And then dream scenario, he's like, he finally got a book signing.
The
No,
beam fell.
the whole light falls on his head, and there's like dust in his eye. You're like, oh wow, this is really we're maybe
Life-
10 minutes away from ending right now, guys. Like,
Yeah,
literally.
life is just against you. Deal with it.
I mean,
You
I
have
guess
no way to turn it around.
I guess you can get to like that is realistic. You know, sometimes life can be like that. You're just
I know,
in
but
a
why
down
do I
pit,
watch
but-
film? Because I want false hope. Like that's why I go to fiction, darlings. That's why I read it. Like
No, it's when
Pennywise
it's
gets
done,
defeated. Pennywise doesn't kill everybody.
when it's done right, it works.
Yes.
But in this movie, I think it just we were already seeing so much bad in this girl's life. You're like, just give me a sliver of hope.
Cog this bitch.
Because this could be a great movie for a hope for a lot of people. And I don't want to go like, she's a poster child of depression. No.
No.
But like, it could help a lot of people and see that, oh, the fact that she's realizing that she's in this bubble and she's trying to get out of it is hella inspirational.
possible, yeah.
And I'm sure there's a lot of like fangirls of, what's her name? The actress?
Daisy Ridley.
Daisy Ridley. They're like, I'm in that position too, and they don't know how to talk about it.
Nope.
Right, and this could help out a lot of people. So Daisy Ridley, thank you.
And there are always people out there that want to get to know you, that think you're interesting, that think you're cool. Trust me, okay? Trust me.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. We like you. We love you. Thank you. This was a good film, and we recommend it.
This was a good film, and we like it.
Yeah.
We love it.
It's the end again.
Did we talk for 40 minutes again?
I really hope not. But we did our first movie review. Thank you guys again for watching us talk about movies. Really? Did you just do that? Damn, you just did. And
If you want to
thank you.
read us talking about movies, not hear us, follow us on Letterboxd.
Yeah,
Self-promotion.
Yo, yeah. See, that's why I need her. So thank you guys. We appreciate you guys watching again. We're at, this would be kind of cute. I want to say how many subscribers we're at. We're at 40 subscribers right
That's
now.
a
We're
lot.
sick of it.
Like, we thought it was going to be a 1 in front of the 0. Or,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, they're trying to say it's 10. Yeah, actually, I expected less.
I thought we were going to keep it at the teens, because I don't think I know that many people in my life.
So thank you, all 40 of you guys. And we love you.
This is
We
the better
hope-
way to do hearts.
Okay. So thank you guys so much. I hope this is funny. I hope you liked it. This is us saying we'll be back. We'll watch more movies. If you want us to watch a movie, put it down below. Scratch that, reverse it.
If you want a full 40-minute analysis on Spirit Sally the Cimarron, let me know.
Okay, let's just leave.
Okay.
Let's just stop.
Okay, I'm leaving. Bye.